Bonjour everyone, welcome to another episode. Today is, as usual, the time for a diecast showcase, and today I thought I'd do a little two-parter. So first and foremost, we're going to start off with a bunch of loose 1/64 scale Mopar castings to make a nice little Mopar car show on the pad that's right in front of you here. And after that, we'll go forward with a few recent finds, basically. A few victims of the hunt that I picked up fairly recent, I'd say in the last week and a half or so. So without further ado, let's check it out. So we're going to start with the Mopar stuff. So first one I'm going to show you is an older Hot Wheels. So Chrysler 300C with those big dub edition wheels, thrift store find. It's actually a really cool cast. The shape is not exactly Chrysler 300-esque, way too stubby and way too wide, so it's almost tuned but not quite. But very well detailed though. I mean, you got the tampoed up lights, very mid 2000 style wheels, the 300C badge there, and you got the rear tampos as well. So I mean, overall, very well tampoed vehicle. Nice silver metallic paint, clear glass with the slightest of tints, and you've got a very Jada-esque chromed interior with the big square subwoofers in the back. I believe it's Kicker, they used to make the square subwoofers back in the day. So really cool cast, but you know, the proportions are a little bit off, and to prove that point, I'm going to show you another 300 cast, but this time from Maisto. So this Maisto cast is definitely not as solidly constructed. Definitely not the nicest wheels, but it is much closer to the shape a Chrysler 300 should have. So you'll notice, basically compared side by side, oh, actually the width is almost the same, but look at the overall length. You know, that's what I was saying, the Hot Wheels version is stubby. It's definitely stubby. Then look at the gigantic wheels compared to these, well, actually they're slightly small in the Maisto, but yeah, it's definitely a comparison worth making, that's for sure. I mean, in your opinion, who did it better? Quality of construction and wheels aside, you know? Yeah, so we'll take a little closer look at this one. Darker gray, very metallic though. Maisto does have some nice paints. They're not the best quality paints, but they look good. So the usual Maisto style detailing with silver for the headlamps, a little bit of chrome on the grille, a few little silver details on the fog lights and whatnot. You'll see the fitment on the rear bumper is kind of awful, and I think I showed you one of these already in a thrift store find video. This is actually not the same one that I showed you. It's the exact same model, but it's this example it's much cleaner. It's almost mint, almost. But both of them were affected by the same problem with that bumper fitment, because the bumper is actually plastic on the back. Not part of the base though. Just don't really understand why the rear bumper, I don't know, maybe it's to help customizers, you know, take a lighter and melt it out a little bit to look like it got destroyed in a takeover or something. I don't know. But yeah, overall, pretty decent cast. No interior, blacked out windows, and no sunroof either on this one. But you know, the rear is really well done. The badging's all there, and it is supposed to be a 300C. Have that same badging on the side as well on the front fender. Yeah, it's literally just missing an interior, I guess. All right, next up. Yeah, let's dive back into Hot Wheels a little bit. So next one I'm going to show you a little muscle car from a multi-pack. This is a 1971 Dodge Demon. It's not a casting I love in views of the fact that I don't know, I find it's a little bit bland. The front end is not super recognizable. My dad, his first car was a Plymouth Duster, a '74. So I mean, he's you know, it was the same basic car but with a different front end treatment and rear end treatment. You know, like the badge engineering that American automakers love to do. The rear, again, you know, it's not. There's a lack of casting details in my humble opinion, let alone tampo work. You know, nice side profile. It's not an ugly car. I like the graphics on the side. It's pretty cool. 340 and little Dodge script on the top of the door. Silver door handle. You know, it's not bad. It's just, in my opinion, it's not great. You know, you have the two snorkels on the hood, which is pretty cool. Would have been cool with that little wing. It would have added a little bit more character to the car. Staggered 5 spokes. Chrome base, which lends itself to the front fascia and the rear bumper. Gray interior. You know, not a whole lot to say about that one. Not my favorite, but I mean, it's a cool cast. Wouldn't have bought it individually, but you know, you get what you get in a multi-pack, right? So we're gonna move forward, switch over to Matchbox temporarily. So this is a cast I was really happy to see appear. This is the first edition of the said cast, so 33 Plymouth. Actually, no, I don't think it's the first edition, but it's a fairly recent release. I think it was probably 2019 release, 2018 maybe copyright for this version. It does have a 2017 copyright underneath. So yeah, on this one I actually added my personal touch. Added some front lights. You know, just a spot of silver Sharpie, just to say. But I mean, it does change the car. You know, because I you know I do have inside a 5-pack the maroon version of this car as well, the recolor. And I mean, without the front lights, it looks really bland from the front. You know, a light gray base, which honestly I think would have been better in chrome. And I know that there's a chrome-based version that exists. You can see that there's 2 types of plastic to form the base. The running boards and the fenders in black, plus the steer wheel, the spare wheel, and the rest of the base is that gray plastic. You know, not. You know, it's one of those cars that it looks good. Like example, like from the side like this in a diorama, it'll look great. Like, you know, but it's not the most awesome cast. Actually, it's an awesome cast, but not the best choice of bumpers. Basically, I find they're really big as well. Would make a good custom, you know, street rotted, you know, without the bumpers and, you know, a few details, maybe some pinstriping, but overall it's a really cool cast. And I like 1930s cars, you know, that Al Capone era. Next up, another one that's another Matchbox that's revamping of an old casting. Actually, casting that was just released by Hot Wheels. Obviously, not the same one, but yeah, this reminds me a lot of an alternate version I had as a kid of the first version of this casting, Jeep Cherokee. So yeah, this one has kind of like a I don't know, like a mountain climbing type of theme. This is from a 5-pack. I do like Jeep Cherokees, and I believe I showed a few already. But yeah, this specific version, you know, the brown plastic lower cladding is a little bit dubious as a color choice. I would have probably done a gray instead. White 6-spoke off-road wheels, big light bar, blue window that lends itself to the light bar. This is a 2-door, which is kind of cool. The older version used to have an opening hatch. Obviously, it doesn't anymore. It does still retain the trailer hitch, though. So, you know, some play value right there. Do like the fact that it does have mirrors, whereas the old cast did not. That's a cool add-on. But yeah, like the fascia needs so much detailing work. And I mean a lot, because you're going to want to try and hide that brown as much as you can. Overall, you know, nice little cast. Proportion is slightly off because the lower, you know, plastic cladding is a little bit thick. But this one has a 2017 copyright. So, yeah, blue plastic base, as you can see. The interior itself is the same brown as the plastic portion, if ever you were curious to know. Next up, another Matchbox. This one, we're getting into a little bit more the muscle cars and whatnot, though. This one, though, what do you think about this stance, guys? What do you think about the stance of this car? Almost looks lifted, right? I don't know. Got a hard time with this one a little bit in views of the proportions, but look, it's a nice cast though. This one too, I added a few details. You can see there's the tri-spoke wheels, these old school wider wheels that I really like on the classic Matchbox castings. Just to show you the work I did, the front lights were already done. I did add some yellow fog lights, as well as that black portion of the lower grille right above my finger. That was the same gray, so I decided to add a little bit of black there, just add a little bit of depth. I didn't want to do the grill because I don't know. I thought I would maybe lose a little bit of depth, but looking at it now, probably wouldn't be a bad addition. Side, the detailing was already all done, so I didn't have to add anything there. And I mean, literally, you lower this casting and it would look so good, so good. Especially it's a 70, so it's got the single front round lights there, which I like better than the quad lights that came afterwards. I find that the lower the rocker panel here is really interesting in the fact that it's ribbed. I don't know why it's done that way, but it kind of looks cool. And I added a little bit of detail in the rear, touch of black for the exhaust, some red for the lights, as well as some blue for the license plate. Although the blue does not match exactly the body color, it does fill out the void a little bit. So yeah, a little bit of detail work there. I like the hockey stripe on the side. It's got the, it's kind of hard to see there, but it's got the Hemi script. Yeah, I don't think the camera's going to want to focus enough. But there you go, Hemi script and nice white interior. It's not too badly molded, honestly. Not bad at all. Well, except for the steering, obviously. And yeah, no shift on this one, so it must be a 3 on the tree or whatnot there. Column shift automatic, I'm assuming. Next up, we're going to jump back into Hot Wheels for a little bit. See, this one is a cool one, I find, and that I did not see very long on the pegs because it seemingly was fairly favored by collectors. Dodge Charger 500. I believe this is what a 69, yeah, 69 Charger. Here's your base. Oh my god, the glare. As you can see, the base is chromed. But yeah, Charger 500, kind of an interesting car. So basically, the Charger 500 was actually a more aerodynamic version of the infamous Charger, basically, as you would have seen, Dom Toretto drive in Fast and Furious, and the villain car in Bullet. Um, it did not have hideaway headlamps and a much more flush grille instead of that almost porthole uh, of air of an air intake for the engine. This one basically had flat front, 4 round lights that were fixed, which helped with aerodynamism. And also, maybe a slightly less known fact, the Charger actually had a recessed rear light with the two, well, it's technically C pillars, but in practice I think it's B pillars because these are pillarless coupes. So the B/C pillars basically actually made a tunnel, and the rear window was recessed on the regular Charger, whereas this one, hence this little hump here, was actually flush with the pillars themselves. Again, kind of like the same tactic used on the Torino Talladega by Ford to really up the aerodynamism, hence upping the top speed of the vehicle. That was really limited by aerodynamic factors. Hood pins, which is cool. You've got the side markers in the rear that are done, not in the front, unfortunately. Door handles are done. Black interior. Nice dark blue metallic paint. Not my favorite hue, but and you've got some ghosted graphics on the front. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but you can see basically that it's kind of like graphics on the front there, and on the door, you've got a ghosted. I think this is Hotchkiss that's written on there, or no, it's Speed Core actually. Speed Core that's written on there. Extremely hard to see, but on the lower part of the door, there's a Speed Core logo there. So definitely gonna add some rear lights to this one. Screaming for some, and it's such an easy touch that does actually do wonders on the car. Probably a little bit of silver on those front lights too, just to make them contrast with the chrome of the base. So, but nice little cool car. Most of those, by the way, were 426 Hemi powered. So let's see. Next up, I'm gonna show you. This was one of my stars from last year's mainline releases. Was it last year? Maybe the year before. Not sure. You guys can tell me in the comments if you want. But 68 Dodge Dart in that green, that venom green or acid green metallic. There's a blue variation with the same tampo work that also exists. Definitely not as well, to me at least, not as appealing as this green one. I love green cars, so some people hate them. I don't know why. Nice rake on here. The big OH5s in chrome. Mopar livery with the Goodyear tampo above the front wheel. The big super stock style hood vent or hood scoop. Black stripe going the whole length of the car. No tampo work front and rear, but no biggie. Those are easy details to add on these older muscle cars. Very geometric shapes. So front end, the molding is very nice in its detail. Again, maybe 2 little spots of silver, or maybe even white paint if I can find the right white paint that works for me. But yeah, really cool car. I really like this casting a lot. We're not at the end quite of this Mopar showcase, but I do want to show you probably my favorite Mopar Hot Wheels, and close probably to being my favorite Hot Wheels in my collection. We're gonna look at this nice 2018 release 50th anniversary redux of the, I believe this is the King Cuda. So kind of like a reissue of the Sweet 16 to celebrate the 50th of Hot Wheels. And this is metal body, metal base, and fully detailed with the red line tires. I love this car. Out of package, because I bought this new off the pegs, and I used to open everything at that time. And I do still have the button that came with it as well. Sweet 16 at the time came with the little buttons that you could pin on your shirt or your backpack or whatever. So still have that somewhere. But look at this thing, how badass it is. Big 50th logo on the door, showing that it's not an original red line, but either way, the wheels are clear, not red lines. You got the black walls with the red lines. Fatter tires in the back, which is always nice. Keep the wheels the same diameter, just make the tires bigger. That's the trick to making these cars look really good versus a staggered setup like this, where the wheel itself is big, the rim itself is big, and the tire is small all around. Just looks better. Just looks better with the fatter tires, in my opinion. But yeah, this thing is so cool. You got a lighter green interior. Again, that black stripe, super stock scoop. There you go. It's actually a Hemi Barracuda. Yeah, actually, King Kuda. I'll show you in a couple more cars. Yep. So 68 Hemi Barracuda. Chrysler Corp. So before the actual takeover by Fiat. So very cool car. Look at the front end. So nice. And the rear does not have the lights, but I'm not gonna mess with that. This is too much of a keepsake. This is staying completely original. No little detailing shenanigans from me on that one. All right, so now we're going to check out another Hot Wheels. This one I've had for a while. I think this is probably I don't know what year it was released there, but I've had it, I bought it new off the pegs, and I think this is probably like a 2013, 14, something like that. I'm not really sure, honestly. I don't remember at this point in time, but nonetheless, here it is. A 71 Plymouth GTX, which is a casting for a reason or another that I'm not overly fond of, but I ended up with all kinds of casts of the 71. I do prefer the 68 much more, but 68, 69, but I don't know, 71, they abound in my collection for a reason or another. Various manufacturers, various scales. So this one's been loose and on display for quite some time, so there are a couple chips on it, because it has fallen off several shelves and tables and things. But yeah. Bright yellow paint, the black paint details, staggered 5 spokes. Cast details are really good on this car. I do like the front end though. The front end's really cool. It's just I prefer the earlier, more simple versions, basically. But yeah, really cool car. Nice shape, classic shape. Put that here. Next up, thrift store find. So basically, so 71 Super B. Here we have a 69 Coronet Super B. And this is the body style that I really like. Actually, you know what? Let's take a closer look at the front end first and foremost, because this is the part I really like on these castings. Yeah, there you go. Good old A-body. Yep, so this one's in vitamin C orange, or Hemi orange, or who knows what type of orange. This one's got white detailing instead. Got the Super B badge on that wraparound stripe. Yeah, focus is not great today, but there we go. I got the two fake air intakes on the rear fenders. Shape of the pillar is more to my liking as well. That C pillar shape and the little side window. I really do enjoy the shape of that. Rear end, doesn't look like much, but it looks good. Gotta love that wraparound stripe with the Dodge right in the middle. Again, the Hemi, this could be a 446 pack scoop, mind you. I don't think it's a Hemi scoop. Either way, very, very cool car, and this was a thrift store find. Very happy about that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only one that I have in the collection of this casting. No other variations. So I was mentioning King Kuda earlier. King Kuda is this guy right here in the Urban Outlaw livery. So Magnus Walker. I don't know if Magnus Walker actually has one of these. I mean, we all know he has a bunch of Porsches. But I mean, they did a Mini in Urban Outlaw. They did this one. They did also the cool Combi. A whole bunch of different Mazda Ripu as well. All kinds of Urban Outlaw vehicles. Honestly, not sure. Does he actually have one of these? I'd have to look it up. And I love the King Kuda casting because of the big engine, exposed engine, no hood. Front end is very similar to the Hemi Barracuda we checked out before. Literally, but with less detail. Yeah, you got Urban Outlaw with the half Union Jack. Cool J5s with the red ring. Urban Outlaw on the back as well with the Hot Wheels Flame. Pretty nondescript rear, honestly. With a tiny little wing with the Plymouth script on the back. Here's your top there with the Urban Outlaw deco. Very cool. Very cool. I do believe I have a silver variation of this as well in a 3-pack. But yeah, this is a casting that's really cool, I find. It's very, very street rod, very, racing after the sun goes down and whatnot. Next up, basically, we have this nice Matchbox Viper RT10. Definitely like this casting better than the Hot Wheels one. I found the proportions are better. If we're talking about the Viper RT10, the first gen Viper convertible. This specific one has the black 5 spokes, which I find kind of cool because they're reminiscent of the Series 2 models, basically, that had well, they came out basically with the GTS Coupe in '96. They changed to a 5-spoke instead of those characteristic 3 spokes that came out originally on the car. Got the side pipes on this one. You've got the Viper script on the front wing. Well detailed. You've got some little bit of tinted lights on the front, which are actually just black paint. The air intakes that are part of the interior at the top end of the hood. Gray interior, which besides the steering wheel is very representative of what first gen Viper interior would have looked and felt like anyways. Definitely not the most quality interior. You actually got some air passing below that roll bar, which is cool as well. Rear end's well cast, not overly detailed and no tampo work, but overall, yeah, it's a cool Viper. Very cool Viper. I do like it a lot. Again, better than the Hot Wheels version, in my humble opinion. Next up, and last of the Mopar showcase, to say the least. This is good old Matchbox Jeep, Rubicon, Gladiator. So, no roof, no doors. As a Jeep, I guess, should be. Cool casting. It's the first iteration, I believe, of the. This I think it. Yeah, this is the first. It came out in red first, I believe. It's got the black chrome off-road wheels. So funny. It's tough to find a place to focus on this thing. So many gaps. But yeah, no front or rear tampos, unfortunately. We do have the badging on the side. The interior is okay, I guess. You know, I'm not overly fond of trucks, so but I found, you know, Mopar without mentioning Jeep is tough. So, but yeah, it's a cool little one. I like it. So, there you go. And I'm gonna keep going in the Mopar realm, but we're going to amalgamate this with my most recent pickup diecast wise. So I picked up a Hot Wheels 5-pack, which is something I hadn't done in a while. And even more rare, I cracked it open immediately after I walked out the store. So I stumbled upon the most recent Speed Blur set, which actually have two representatives from the Mopar family and the two that I really wanted the most. So basically, we'll start with a good old truck, Dodge Power Wagon, which is a casting I find Hot Wheels does extremely well. I do have another variation of this casting. It's blue and white. Came out probably 2 years ago. Excuse the cat. A little bit excited. So this one, out of the Speed Blur, well, Speed Blur, obviously, you have to remember that they're going to have gray tires. This is like basically the staple of Speed Blur. It's how to tell them apart from other series. Just like the Track Stars will have orange wheels. These have gray wheels, so way better than the beige or brown wheels, in my opinion. And it kind of works with the black beadlock on the wheels as well as the matte black paint finish. I really like the graphics on this one with the 70 meatball, Hot Wheels flame, and the Power Wagon on a white background. Very cool. Boxes half white since it lends itself to the interior. Really, really cool truck. Really, really cool. Really happy to have found that set because there's a couple of them that were must-haves for me. The other must-have for me was this guy right here, which you can't really see, but there you go. Fully chromed out Dodge D50 van. Really cool. This is my third variation of, actually fourth variation of this casting. Do love vans. If you haven't checked out my van episode, please feel free to do so. But yeah, this thing is pretty darn sweet. It's got a plastic body, metal base, and this is the newer release casting without the open roof. I have another casting in purple that the body is metal, the base is plastic, and the top part where you have all these gutters, basically, or ridges or fins or whatever you want to call them. That's actually a huge panoramic glass roof, or plastic roof, obviously. But this one does not have it and it has a plastic body, so basically it's a cheaped out version. Grill is still the same. Gray tires. And you can see here, there's big Speed Blur graphics. It's kind of funny that this is chrome, because one of the 4 versions that I have, there's this one, that's the 4th one acquired. I also have the Super Chromes version in gold. So now I have a silver one that's not a Super Chrome, but it's chromed out as heck. You can get blinded by this thing. Plus, it's got the chrome red 5-spokes on the gray tires. So, very cool van. Very, very 70s. So yeah, really happy about that one. That was the one I was actually most looking forward to picking up. So non-Mopar, we're done with the Mopar for today. Other one that not bad at all from that series is this Little Ford F-150 Raptor. No front tampos, but a nice deco. You know, nice kind of like camo deco with the HW for Hot Wheels. It's got real lights though. Cool bead locks with the kind of like orange, bronze orange chrome type wheels. They look lighter than they are because of the light, but yeah, they're very orange. Matte tan paint. See, you have the panoramic sunroof on this one. Dark tinted windows, no mirrors unfortunately, and I'm guessing this is the color of the interior, like a darker brown, almost like khaki color. Black plastic base. It really looks really good, honestly. I believe I have another variation of this, and no, actually I don't. I have another F-150 Raptor of this generation, but it's actually a Matchbox. And the other F-150 I have from Ford is the recently released Goodyear one, Goodyear liveried one. So put this one here, even though it's not a Mopar. Seemingly doesn't want to stay because it's not a Mopar. If ever you're curious, the two other cars in this Speed Blur pack are these two, which I'm not keeping. I gave those to my daughter. I mean, they're pink. She loves pink cars, so yeah. So let's see. We've got Twin Mill Gen E. Cool pink though, honestly. Cool pink, but I don't collect these. So Twin Mill Gen E, and we've got the HW50 concept released in 2018. It's kind of interesting. We make cool Gasland build or something like that. But yeah, two-tone aero discs. Again, the gray tires on both of them. I kind of like that. I kind of dig the wheels though on this one, honestly. But big trap fives there. But yeah, these are for my daughter to use on her own personal Hot Wheels track. Gotta share the love, right? So next up I'll show you a couple Matchbox I actually picked up. First and foremost, Best of Italy Alpha 4C. Showed you in a previous video a Siku version of this. Now here's a Matchbox version. I do have another one of these, a 2015 carded one, but it's exactly the same color, so I'm probably going to get rid of it. This one I cracked open right away after I purchased it too. It's a great casting, fully detailed, license plates and everything. I also have this one. It was in a multi-pack. It's in a multi-pack and I believe a 9-pack, and it has black 5 spokes instead of these silver ones. So I have the 2 wheel variations of this, but I'm not gonna keep the other one. So that's gonna be for a trade or something. You know, it is a 7-year-old carded vehicle, so I guess some people would be interested in acquiring that. Yeah. Put the Alpha here. Next up, same series. I was really happy to find this one. Again, cracked open as soon as I bought it. The Rambo Lambo LM002 in yellow. Typical Lamborghini color. This one's got the light gray wheels. And I do have another variation of this in a 5-pack in black. But this is such a cool vehicle. If you've ever seen one of these in real life, they are pretty epic. Powered by a Lamborghini Countach V12. Detailing on this is really good. Except maybe for the spare. They could use a few details, but hey. Can't really complain for a $1 car, right? It's got the mirrors. Casting details are phenomenal. This is a really cool release. I really like this truck. And last of the main lines, I guess. Yeah, last of the main lines is going to be this Lamborghini Gallardo. This is from Best of France in Police Nationale livery. So the I guess the federal police, you could call, for France. Yeah, it's a really cool one. I added a few details already. white cars, I mean, they're impossible to not detail, right? So I added little orange side markers on the front bumper, and I also added some rears, just, complete the tamper work that was omitted because of the police livery. So yeah, cool little car. Yeah, really cool car. I have another one of these in a 5-pack. It's like the Mattel security car or whatever. Not too fond of that livery, but this one is an actual real livery, so I don't know. I find it's kind of cooler because of that, which is why I picked it up. So I'm gonna end this video, which is already getting quite long, with two M2 machines that I actually was able to pick up fairly recently. First one is an auto driver, and it is this beauty right here, Moon Eyes 49 Merc Custom Coupe with the flame job, the moon discs, and the wide white walls, as well as the Moon Eyes logo on the lower front fender. Yellow headlights, nice chrome grille. No opening features on this one, plastic base since we are talking about auto drivers. Nicely done rear. Moon equipped on the back. Love the shade of red. It's really like a candy red. The flame job is pretty darn epic. And well, can't go wrong with a Moon Eyes card. 9,600 pieces. And there you go. And to where am I even gonna put this? You know what? Let's put it right here for now. And last but not least, this one is out of the, I guess you could call it the Authentic series, but I was finally able to find this guy here. 54 Mercury Sun Valley with the green tinted huge glass top, white walls again, hubcaps with beauty rings. All the detailing is there. This is like the type of car that made me fall in love with the M2 brand. These 1950s 1950s cars that are not made a whole lot. You can see the hood slightly open there. You know, they're not made like in 1/64 scale, at least there's not a whole lot of them. There's your rear end, but like stock, you know, really normal. This would have been, you know, something to see pretty mundane in the 50s, you know. But yeah, whenever M2 releases cars like these, I really have to pick them up because it's kind of stuff that, you know, it's from a bygone era, and you know, details like no other. Well, yeah, in this case, it is true. They're very realistic, and I love these little boxes that they do now with the old style, you know, ad type deco. So, opening doors, opening hood. You know, lensed features throughout. Separate chrome pieces. White interior. The bench seat. Separate steering wheel. We can't really see through this plastic, but yeah, separate steering wheel. That's actually green, as is the dashboard. So yeah, we'll finish off with these two Mercs basically. But that'll do it for tonight. It's a 45-minute video approximately. So if you tuned in until the end, thank you and congratulations. You've made it. So all I've left to say is don't forget to subscribe to be notified of future uploads. Of course, as always, comment your feedback. Tell me which one was your favorite. You know, let me know if there's any you have any specific feedback you'd like to include about any of these models. And of course, if you did like the video, well, hit that thumbs up. It's always appreciated. On that, I'll let you go. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully all is well, and I will wish you a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.